evening, everybody. Would you please join me in prayer? Lord God and Father, we praise you and thank you for your grace and mercy that allows us to assemble this evening in the complete freedom that we hold so dear. We pray that you would bless and prosper us all, especially our guest speaker, Darlene, who has so graciously agreed to come be with us tonight. Finally, Lord, we pray your protective hand over our President and Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, our Vice President, J.D. Vance, our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and all other cabinet members. We also pray your protective hand over our military stationed all around the world, but especially over all those directly engaged in the Middle East. We pray that your Holy Spirit wisdom would be downloaded into the administration, as well as our Joint Chiefs Chairman, General King, and CENTCOM Commander, Admiral Cooper. Give them eyes to see and ears to hear and understand your voice in this hour. All this we ask in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
Would you all join me in the pledge? Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Kathy. All right. So I always like to start our meetings with recognition of our guests and any elected officials that we might have who have joined us tonight. And I've already seen a few in the room. So I know you're eating, but I'm not going to ask you to introduce yourselves, but please stand when you do stand to recognize yourself in your position. But I know we have guests here tonight, so just raise your hand so we can see you. I know we've got several. Thank you all so much for being here with us. And our elected officials. We'll start with Representative Mayfield. You just stand and tell us who you are and what you represent.
Okay, I'm Karen Mayfiak, and I represent Brooks, Woolsey, South Peachtree City, and South Fayette, Spalding County, and 3 precincts in Griffin. And I've been in, this is my 10th year.
Wow.
So, thank you ladies for supporting me in the past, and I hope you'll support me in this next go-round.
So don't sit down. So all elected officials, do you have primary opposition?
I don't have primary.
Woo! Yay, that means you're in for the general. You're in for the
Well,
general.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
We qualified alone for the primary, right? No opposition that you know of. And
All right, what else?
so now, do you know anything about your Democrat opposition? Or are they in a
I
primary?
don't know anything, no.
I just
Yes,
want to know,
they're
we
in
gotta
primary,
beat them, I
but-
know that.
You know, the one thing that we learn about politics is you never mention your opponent's name, because you
Don't
don't
do
need
that.
to know that. You need to know my name, not their name, right?
But you do have opposition. This is what I'm looking for. Or is there a primary?
Yes, it's a primary between them. Both of them have run against me before.
And you beat them.
One of them, all he wants to do is legalize marijuana. And the other one, I get all kinds of intel from one of our colleagues from South Georgia that his wife is related to this guy by marriage. So we get some intel from her every once in a while, but we just work our program. That's what Republicans do. We stand for what we stand for, and we work our programs, and that's what we will do. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Darlene is here. Well, go ahead. Well, you can answer those questions as well. You qualified. This is Darlene Taylor, our guest speaker. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Darlene Taylor. I'm from Thomasville. I represent District 173. It's most of Thomas County and a half of Grady County, which is Cairo and Thomasville are my 2 largest cities. This is my 16th year. Wow. Pretty busy at the Capitol. I chair appropriations for health care. So how the state spends its money on health is what I look at, but I serve on a number of committees. And I'm proud to be here tonight. I'm very proud of every one of you. It's wonderful to see a room full of people that care. And I
I'm Suzanne Brown, City Council of Peachtree City.
Yeah, now you are not up for election this year, correct?
No.
Next year?
Yes.
Yep. All right.
Jessica Whalen, Town of Tyrone, Town Council.
Post one, but next year. or this-
Yeah, me and Suzanne are.
Okay, next year. So, just a really quick note, one of the things we love about being a part of the Republican Women's Club is one of our missions is electing women in office. And did you notice 4 women just stood up who are elected officials in office? So, there you go.
We work to get elected.
And we absolutely, the 3, and we would help Darlene if we lived all the way down in South Georgia. But it is an honor to help our women elected officials. So thank you for being here. I don't think any of the guys are here tonight, are they? I will tell you that Josh Bonner was here. If you missed him, he was able to sneak in for a few minutes and share a few. He shared something really special about Darlene. But Josh is running again. Any opposition? Do we know? Primary opposition. No.
He doesn't have.
Okay. Oh, he does not.
No, but he has 2 Democrats.
But he does have, okay, so the primary for his Democrat. Okay.
Jennifer,
Yes.
the Democrats made it their business to run somebody against each one of us. Guess who else did? We did too. We've got Republican
Going after
them
Democrats.
as well.
Good. We need to. Sometimes we just sit down. My House representative, I don't know if she has an opposition. I don't think she does. But no one wants to run against her.
Well, some of the districts, they're so steep that
Mine is one of them.
that we don't spend the energy and the assets, but
And that can go both ways, to your
It can.
point. It can.
That's right.
It can go both ways. And then who else? So Senator Marty Harbin is still probably at the Capitol working. For those who may or may not know, we are in legislative session. So to have these 2 ladies join us tonight is very, very important because, and we're just thankful because you are still in session. You have, 2 more weeks to go? 2, 3-ish? Almost done. Yes.
we have so many committee days in there. I think we have 9 more days, but
But it takes,
it takes almost 3 weeks to get 9 days in because we have committee days. Like today was a committee day, so we spent most of the day in committees, so.
so Marty, I believe, is still there. So, I believe he is unopposed for the primary, but obviously we'll also have, opposition for the general. That's just important. We all, the whole board, you're gonna hear from me a little bit later about our programs for the rest of the year. Y'all, this year is so important. We say it every single year. This election cycle is the most important ever. And it seems like every year that's becoming more and more serious. Yes, sir.
Can I
Mr.
just
Mott?
make a comment? I
Yes.
hear there's opposition, there's
Yes.
no opposition. You still have to go out and vote. in
No,
the
I know
primary.
that, but it's important to know if these ladies,
It's a good point.
it is a
Because
great
the writing
point.
people, it happened, the village I lived up in New York, ran opposition, and the last 15 minutes, 30 buses showed up, and that person lost.
My goal in asking the question is to say that, because Karen had opposition a few years ago, and guess what? Yes, we want everyone to get out and vote, but we had to get out and really work for Karen very hard against her oppositions. That's in the primary. So I think it's important to understand that y'all are going to go for the primary, but yes, we will get out the vote. Oh, that's coming. Thank you for mentioning that. That's coming.
Jennifer?
Judge Thompson, well, the judge, okay, the state court judge is a nonpartisan race, so that, we do have a very important race that their election, I can't endorse, we're not supposed to endorse either party, because they're not a party. But that election is on May the 19th. It is a one and done, so there's another reason to get out there and vote in the primary for that particular race, especially. Now, if you talk to the ladies, the guests, if you sit here, or even our members, if you don't know which one is on which side of the line, the aisle, someone at your table will be able to tell you which one is on what line. Just trust me, but unfortunately, I cannot share that information with you as our bylaws protect our board from discussing and endorsing nonpartisan, just so everyone knows. But thank you, Diane. That race is important. I did have one of those candidates share something with me, and I'm going to share it with you all, why that race is so important. The state court judge is a critical judge in Fayette County. That person has a lot to do with whether they're going to be soft on crime or they're going to enforce the law. So I was speaking to one of the candidates recently, and they informed me that one of the reasons this race is most critical for us is that the sheriff's office is up for election in, I think, 2 years. They're already discussing opposition to Sheriff Barry. That is important to have your state court judge then sitting on the dais, because if, y'all, I don't need to explain it, that's not what we're here for, but y'all can see our guests, you can see what we talk about a lot about. The point is, that race for state court judge is so critical because in 2 years, you've got to have someone on that, at the bench, that's the word I'm looking for, the bench, that you want to enforce crime. But I would like to believe that was fun. But hey, like Mike and everyone said, it's not always fun until the last vote is counted. So anyway, all right, sorry, we totally rabbit trailed on that. I am so sorry, but I'm still on time. That's amazing. Okay. Our guest speaker tonight, so she introduced herself a little bit, and if you got to hear what Josh said about her, that was incredibly special. And Darlene still has that speech written. So don't be surprised if we invite her back one day next year during session to come and share that story with us as well. But as Darlene mentioned, she is the Georgia House Representative for District 173, which is way down south in the Grady and Thomas counties. She was sworn in on January 10th of 2011, and she is on a slew of committees. I got him off the website and was like, wow, she's busy. She's on the Agriculture and Consumer Affairs Committee, the Insurance Committee, Public and Community Health, let's see, the Rules Committee, Special Committees on Healthcare, Transportation, and as she mentioned, she is on the Appropriations thing. That's one of those words I struggle with, Appropriations for the Health Subcommittee. So this is what's so fun about Darlene. Who went to Red Coat Day at the Capitol a few weeks ago? There's several of us here now. We had the honor to sit and listen to Darlene on a very small panel. Three women who shared with us what's going on in our state with health care. And it wasn't about health insurance. Okay, although we all have questions. But she talked about the health care. And that was just the first little window into Darlene that we got to have. So as the day went by and she's hanging out with us and she's in this beautiful, actually this suit she's in here, you'll see a full picture of it in a second, but she's in this beautiful full red suit and she's hanging out with us and I was like, wow, this House Representative is hanging out with us a lot. Well, there's a reason for that. She's a member of her women's club in Thomas County and I didn't know that at the time. So that evening we had a really special reception. I got to hear from candidates, but Darlene was our guest speaker. And I am not going to steal thunder. I don't want to build her up so that, I want her to speak. But the next morning, she was sitting behind me in our meetings. And I was like, I'm going to ask her without asking the board or anyone else if she will come speak. So I sent Denise a text and I said, I'm asking Darlene if she'll come speak. Do it. So I turned around and I introduced myself, and I would believe that a new friendship was started in that moment. Darlene is going to share an incredible story with you. My hope and prayer is that she inspires you. That's why we asked her to be here tonight. And with that, I don't want to say any more because I do believe she's going to touch your heart and your soul tonight. So, Darlene, the microphone is yours. Please
I'm shorter. Before I actually start, I will share, I did have opposition this year. I didn't get the Republicans. I got 2 Democrats. I think that's their thing. They put a pair around everywhere to try to challenge us. But I will share, in the 16 years that I have served, every time I've won, I've had opposition. I've had a Democrat every time. Ladies, you'll appreciate this. I had one time where I had a retired ag extension, and I come from a very ag background, and my district is pretty ag. And he had worked in both my counties, and he challenged me as a Republican. Ladies, he got the farmers, but I got the farmers' wives. We made a big difference. We made a big difference. And I really have to commend you. You have a wonderful slate of people representing you in the General Assembly. You have no idea how important they are to our caucus and to getting things done. You have hard workers, you have people that care. They remember and know where they came from. They're not stuck on, I'm representative or I'm chairman. They're yours, they represent you, and they fight every day for what the things are that you need back home. So I have to tell you a great appreciation for who represents you. But tonight, excuse me, tonight, I want to thank every one of you for coming this evening. Again, I am Darlene Taylor, and she mentioned that I do belong to it, but I will tell you, several years ago, after I was already in the General Assembly, I remembered what it was like to try and run, and I decided we needed a local Republican women's group in South Georgia. We did not have one. So I was actually the founder of the Republican Women of South Georgia. We needed one. But I'm here tonight to share the thoughts about what it's like to be a Republican woman. Several years ago, I thought these women needed this guidance, and it's not something you can do easily. And I say, we're Southern women, and do we really want to be involved in politics of all things? Today, yes we do. It's not a wannabe, we have to be. But I'll start with my background. I've never thought of myself as being very special. I'm just as common as everyone else. I'm a Christian, meaning I love Christ. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm a wife of over 56 years, and yes, it's still a daily struggle. I'm a mother now and a grandmother, and I'm still learning patience. I'm a community busybody, aka volunteer. If there's a need, I'm trying to fill it. I'm a reader, always looking for and at the details. I'm a leader that didn't want to be one. I'm a businesswoman that didn't know she could be one. And now I'm a state representative that didn't know she could even be one. This was not on a bucket list for me. I got in this very late in life. All these things that I said that I am, they mean different things and different levels of importance to you at different times of your life. I'm not the same person today that I was 5 years ago or 10 years or 30 years ago. You can have it all, ladies, just not all at once. Today, it's my honor to serve as a Thomas and Grady counties, as she said earlier, representing a part of South Georgia that needed representation. We had a number of issues, and if you can go back about 20 years ago, when the Democrats were in charge, they redistricted and bushwhacked us. We had one man that had 1 mile wide district that went 60 miles north. It was terrible. So we needed to get involved, and I'm proud of being able to represent my district. And the leadership in the House, they size you up the first year or two you're there, and they're trying to find out where are your skills and abilities, and where can you best fit in. And that's how I got so many committee jobs. Also, I was on the rural council, because my district is so rural. We had a need to address a lot of these issues, and I was very glad to be able to be on that committee. Again, I represent my district. I've always been a Republican, and I mean, always. I voted for Nixon, for goodness sakes. What can I tell you? I predate Reagan. That's not to say I've never voted for a Democrat, because I have. If they were the best choice, I voted for them. I will tell you, I'm an Eisenhower girl. I quote him very often, and I will tonight. He was a very wise man. I recommend you read him. You'll be at a wonder spot when you see the things that he brings to life. I was an active member of the Thomas County Republican Party for many, many years, serving in a lot of different positions, from cookie maker to speech maker. Whatever they needed, I was going to do. Several different groups of women, all things I belonged to. It might have been a Bible group, the DAR, the Republicans. It all showed that we needed something, and that's how we came together. The first thing I recognized is that we needed to feed each other. We needed to share our thoughts. We needed to get on track. Women and men both were open to having us step up. Here's one of the excerpts from one of my early speeches. I know that you take pride in the fact that you live in America, for your America is still the freest nation in the world. Many men and women have given so much for the freedom we all enjoy. However, I do fear that some may have forgotten what America is all about. Others may never have known the story of some of our early American sisters and the impact on our history and our heritage. We came from what, I don't know, how would you say? How did we get to be the great American women that we are? Not only is this an interesting story, filled with many interesting characters, but it's an important story of early citizenship and the brave acts of women in our history. We are a party stock, very loyal, but fiercely independent, with a desire and a need to protect our freedoms. When we were but a colony, a member of the British House of Commons, during a discussion concerning the colonies, said of us, quote, "The people, I believe, are as truly loyal as any subject the king has, but they are a people jealous of their liberties, who, if those liberties should ever be violated, will vindicate them to the last drop of their blood." Yes, that is us, protective of our liberties to this day. At that time in history, it would be an understatement to say that it was a man's world. But women were there, and we were showing our strength. I want to share some of the stories of those important women who laid the foundation for who we are today. But I cannot begin without acknowledging that America, from the very start, was based on Judeo and Christian beliefs.
Yes, amen.
We are from women like Esther, a young woman who had no idea of the impact of her life, how it would affect her people. As frightened and insecure as she was, Esther recognized, as prompted by her uncle, that she was meant for and needed for something very, very special. She made changes in her life, took a different path. She met the needs of her time. Now, let's go on to our American history. These early American sisters, many of them you've probably never heard of. In 1766, Mary Catherine Goddard and her widowed mother became publishers of the Providence Gazette. It was a newspaper. It made her the very first woman publisher in America. Later, Goddard became the first woman postmaster in Baltimore. And in 1777, she was the first one to print copies of the Declaration of Independence that included the signatures of who signed. I know we've heard stories of women like Betsy Ross and her making of the flag, but there were many, many more women who actually fought in the Revolutionary War. Picture this. All through the day, amidst the smoke and fire of the firing, a private young wife, Mrs. John Hayes, carried water in a pitcher back and forth to her husband and his fellow artillery gunners, thus earning the nickname Molly Pitcher. On June 28, 1778, during the Battle of Monmouth, the fighting was fierce and intense. The heat of the battle was searing, and the soldiers' throats were parched. They were exhausted and really wounding. At the battle, Molly's husband was wounded and could not continue. But she knew his job. She grabbed the rammer and she kept the gun firing. She served that cannon throughout the remainder of the battle. For her heroic service, she was ultimately granted relief by the active Pennsylvania legislature. Deborah Sampson was the first known American woman to join the Army. But of course, like the Disney character in Mulan, she had to impersonate a man. On June 20th, 1782, she was 21 years old. She enlisted in the Continental Army as a man named Robert Sherman. Being 5'7" tall, she looked tall for a woman. She bowed her breast. She looked like a man. The others teased her because she didn't grow a beard. She performed her duty as well as any man. She was wounded in the leg. She didn't want anybody to know she was wounded. She tended to it to herself, and it never healed properly. But later, she was hospitalized with a fever. Of course, a doctor discovered who she was, and he made discreet arrangements and ended her military career. She was honorably discharged from the Army. But she returned home. She did marry and have children. But she spent a lot of her life visiting in New York, New England, lecturing on the experience of being in the military. During her lectures, she wore her military uniform. She was an outstanding woman, and she set a great standard for all of us. Having active first ladies is nothing new. Abigail Adams was one of the most remarkable. She saved so much information, and she wrote letters and saved them. That's how we know how much went on during the Revolutionary War. When her husband actually became president, the opposing political contemporaries argued that she exerted undue political influence over her husband. Can you believe that? They're still talking about it. There's also Dolly Madison. She served as the unofficial first lady for Thomas Jefferson. But when she became the first lady, we all know the story of how she saved Washington's portrait and many of the very important documents that are still today, and we have because of her. Another example of an unknown but famous woman is the name most of you have never heard, Catherine Ferguson. She was the founder of the New York City's first Sunday school class. She was born a slave. At age 16, a kindly lady befriended her and purchased her for $200. Catherine married at 18. She had 2 children, both of them died in infancy. The needs of the desolate children of the inner city of New York were her children. She spent her lifetime teaching them to read, reaching those children that had no home or were mistreated by parents. She had her Sunday school class, and it opened up so many things. One of the ministers on Murray Street asked her to take and move her Sunday school into his church, and he did. So it became a Sunday school church in his facility. Over the course of her life, she raised and took in a total of 48 children from the streets or from unfit parents. She raised them and kept them herself or found suitable homes. There are so many others. We know about Clara Barton, and there was Elizabeth Blackwell. She was the first woman to receive an MD degree. It's amazing. She went on to, after that, in 1857, founded the New York Infirmary for Women and Children. So today we have a medical school for women that she founded also. No discussion of women would be complete without the mention of the suffrage movement, our early women's rights. In some places, women had actually been voting since 1790. They don't realize that. They just weren't voting in federal elections. But like most, we've heard of the Elizabeth Stanton, Lucy Stowe, Lucretia Mott, and Susan B. Anthony. But there's one you haven't heard about. I got a big kick out of reading about her. Her name was Amelia Bloomer. She was a women's rights. She wrote her own little news articles and her own presentation of it. It was called The Lily. She began publishing it in 1849. When she was 22 years old, she married a lawyer. One of her big things is the corsets and things women had to wear. She is the one that changed how women dress. I give you the name Bloomers. That's what they But there are so many others like that. Franklin Roosevelt named Frances Perkins as the Secretary of Labor. Letty Hay Whitehead was the first woman to serve as a director of a major corporation right here in Georgia, Coca-Cola. Oveda Hobby was the first woman to serve as a Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare. She also was the first director of the WACS, the Women's Army Corps. We've heard, I probably may not be old enough, but I can remember Margaret Chase Smith from Maine. She was the first woman to run as a candidate in a major political party. Shirley Chisholm from New York was the first African-American woman in Congress. Sandra Day O'Connor, who was appointed by Ronald Reagan, the first woman of a justice, Supreme Court justice. Sally Ride, the first American woman in space. And one I really like is Wilma Mankiller, the first woman in the Cherokee Nation. I don't know where that name came from, but she was there. Also, I will share, we have some things in Georgia to be proud of. Our own Jan Jones was the first American elected Speaker pro tem, and she went on to serve as Speaker of the House. She's retiring this year. Ladies and gentlemen, she paved a way for the women of the House like no one else could have. She stood up when she was the woman there, and they had to listen. So I'm very proud of her. I'm sorry to see her retire, but she served for 20 years, and I can see why she wants to and is ready to. But there are are so many things, I could go on and on. But the point is, these women, like you and me, they all had different skills and abilities and purposes. Throughout our history, the women of the United States used their skills and ability and have stood up for and fought for not only our rights, but those of human basic rights across the world. My message to you today isn't about a history lesson. It is about so much more. It's about our effort to rally you, an extraordinary group who knows the value of their voice and the impact of their actions. We must look at where we have come from to recognize the value of our future. You see, each of these women of history have their own personal backgrounds and heritage. Just like each of us, each of our stories is different, but woven with the same type of threads. Patterns may be similar, but the final pictures are very personal. You might say custom made, definitely one of a kind. Yes, that is what America is, custom made. We all have our own customs and heritage within us. My family heritage, your neighbor's heritage, and your own may be different, but the future is all of ours. For the next generations are still being established and built. I don't know the path your heritage took, but the lessons and desires for freedom and liberty our ancestors instilled in us is still here. It's up to us to carry them on, to teach those lessons, not just through books and history, but through our actions and our deeds. As a people, we have always been free thinkers, independent natured, many of us a little bit, shall I say, headstrong. We are often frustrated when others don't see things the same way we do. President Eisenhower said it well. Here in America, we are descendants and spirits from revolutionaries and rebels, men and women who dared to dissent from accepted doctrine. Yes, that's us, independent and spirited. How did our governing document ever last 200 years? If you recall, the real original document was not the Constitution. The actual governing document in place for almost 11 years before the Constitution were the Articles of Confederation. A convention was convened in Philadelphia to revise the Articles of Confederation. Lots of debate and arguing. It was all men, so I can imagine what it was really like. After a lot of this debate, it became clear that instead of amending the existing articles, the convention would draft a new frame of government. Among the important points of issue were how much power to allow the central government, how to determine the number of representatives for each state, and how those representatives would be elected. Does that sound familiar? 250 years and we're still talking about it. Yes, their work stands as a shining example of cooperative statesmanship, and yes, sometimes compromise. Compromise is not a four-letter word. Leadership and statesmanship is exactly what we need today. Our Constitution and the Bill of Rights are what make us a beacon of hope to all those oppressed throughout the world. It's up to us to keep that beacon shining. Where are you now? I worry about us. I worry about America. I fear what I see and hear, a lack of involvement. Should I say the big A word, apathy? All of these things have different levels of importance and priority to us at different times of our lives. A long journey's life, when we are moving through time, I've had to make adjustments and change many times in my life. I'm sure you have too. What I'm talking about is not a character change, but a change of priorities. Our nation, our children, our future needs our commitments. It doesn't mean you don't already love your country or you're not patriotic. It just means we need to put it into action, to show it publicly, to be out there standing for what you believe in. Do what you can do now, where God has placed you at this time in this place of your life. It may not come easy for you and I, and most things that are important need a change. Change for me did not come easy. Some changes might be easier than others, but none will come without a need, a reason, an inspiration, an effort. Actually, as was shown in our history lesson, this is kind of a change will never happen without effort. I recognize for many, this will be a considerable effort and sacrifice. Are you willing to undergo the efforts of change? Many times in order to thrive and grow, we have to start a change process. I did. There comes a time when we have to take a stand. I stand for what I believe in, for what I know is right. Sometimes we need to get rid of old habits and pretenses. Only freed from past burdens can we take advantage of the present and reach for the future. We can do this by becoming involved. Find your interest, your mission, your passion. Educate yourself about these concerns. And what it does not mean, do not believe everything you see on the internet and Facebook.
Can you say that again for the people in the back?
Do not believe everything you see and hear on the internet and on Facebook. Wisdom and discernment are needed.
Yes.
What do you make decisions based on? The best decisions are based on knowledge and our basic understanding of right and wrong. Learn, know the facts. Be involved. Join others of like mind. Be a realistic person. Nothing is 100% pure. You will not always have your way or always need your way. You will face criticism, ridicule, maybe even danger. It will not be easy. You will face many storms and rainy days. You are needed now more than ever. As much as we wish, not one of us can bring back yesterday. Only today is ours, and it will not be ours for very long. And once it's gone, it's never ours again.
Right.
We need to make the most of it. Your community, your district, your state, and yes, our country needs you. Just like our foremothers did, to stand up and be counted. We must band together. We must let our voices be heard, and that will only happen if you accept the responsibility of citizenship. At this time of year, no discussion of citizenship could be complete without the mention of voting.
Oh, yeah.
Get out there and vote. Again, you are needed. We all are. You know the choices that are best for you and the actions you need to take to get behind those decisions to vote. What are your values? Which candidate matches your values? Now vote. Never stop working for what you believe in. I'm an American. I'm a Georgian. I'm a patriot. I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican. Most importantly, I'm an independent-minded person, and I can work with others to find consensus without compromising my principles. Our national emblem, the eagle, is known to be very independent. Yet, they find it necessary to join with other eagles and work together to successfully complete periods of migration. In the same way, we need to join together and work with each other. We cannot have a fulfilling life or accomplish what we need to alone. For me, I find comfort in a sense of accomplishment in serving others. Our world has many opportunities for us to use our talents and to serve others. We really need each other. Helen Keller said it best. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. As I close, I have to say, what the nation, our state, and even our Republican Party needs now more than anything is unity. I understand. Understand, we may have differences, but as President Dwight Eisenhower said, may we never confuse honest dissent with disloyal subversion. Don't fall into that trap. Know the truth. Facts used to be a stubborn thing, but that was in the 1980s. Today we have alternative facts that represent craziness. I ask, whose lies do you believe? It's come to that. Again, my old friend, President Eisenhower, I do quote him often. It's only common sense to recognize that the great bulk of Americans, whether Republican or Democrat, face many common problems and agree on a number of basic objects. He also said, the middle of the road is all the usable surface. The extremes right and left are in the gutter. Remember that one. Back to the eagles. I would like to share one more fact about the eagles, specifically their eyesight. The eagle can probably identify a rabbit moving miles and miles away. That means that an eagle flying at an altitude of 1,000 feet in open country can spot that prey of almost 3 miles away. And guess what? The eagle is always looking. How good good is your eyesight? I think you have 20/20 vision. You already know of issues that need your support. Do not be disillusioned. Do not let your anger at TV news or podcast or internet posts get to you. Especially do not let apathy keep you from acting. Your support is needed now. Know the real stories and issues. Pursue it. Get the real facts. You know right from wrong. Stand up for what you believe in. Pursue your concerns for you and your family and your community. Be counted and prepare to soar with the eagles. I'll close with Isaiah 40:30-31. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. No wonder God wants to spread our wings and soar with the eagles. We represent something just as the eagle does. We are symbols to our family, friends, community, and to the world. You are needed and you count. I hope to see you in full flight. Thank you.
Thank you. You're good. I've learned to turn it off. Well, I hope you are encouraged and inspired. After Darlene spoke to us at the Red Coat weekend, Bert Jones got up to speak, and he was so sweet. He said, Darlene, if you ever decide to do something else, I hope you learn how to read Audible books. Which is a beautiful way of saying and thank you. But I have something for you. I'm just going to open this back up because they're taking pictures and the thing kind of went wonky. Let me try to get this back. I know that's what happened. It's okay. We wanted to see your face, not the.
I have my red on then. I do wear red.
Yes, she does. It's beautiful too. I'll show y'all in a second. Hold on. They're doing pictures. Y'all know when the technology. Here we go. Here we go. I know y'all can see it. Okay, so in January, we had a celebration dinner because we won for our third consecutive time the Diamond Award from the National Federation of Republican Women. Yay! Yay, us! Third time winners. For 6 years. We're gonna win it again, so means we're gonna be busy. But at that dinner party, I shared a story. So if you were there, just I'm gonna give the abbreviated version of it. If you weren't there, I'll have to dig that story out. But I shared the story of the bee. So I love the story of the eagle. We all know and love our eagle. But God made the little bee so aerodynamically, allegedly impossible to fly. Do y'all know that's the story about the bee? It's got this big belly of a body and these really thin little wings to support such a body. So the bee is not supposed to fly. But I found a story that I've always loved as women, especially, that as bees, God made us fly. And what do they fly into? They fly into the storms. They fly into the rain. They fly into the wind. And I referred to my Betsy the bumblebee, Betsy Ross, Betsy the bumblebee, in such a way that we are bees fighting every day in our country, in our communities, for our country and for our communities. So that evening, I gave all of our new board, because we inducted our board that night, a bumblebee. And I have one for you. So, because Darlene, you are a bumblebee. You are out there in South Georgia, all the way to the Capitol, fighting in the storms. We hear what goes on downtown. And so I wanted to give you a bee so that you can remember to get in the rainstorms, because you mentioned it. Get into the rain, get into the storms, and you will fly, because God gave you the ability to fly. So
that is beautiful. Thank you.
Now, just so everyone knows, Darlene's not driving home tonight to South Georgia, okay? So the very first, when I turned around and talked to her, I said, do you live in Atlanta? Atlanta while you're in session? And she was like, yes. I was like, okay, good, because I want you to come speak to us. So she does. She lives in downtown during session time. God love you for that too. you know, if you know, you know. But anyway, so thank you again. Thank you. Sam, did you record that by chance? So Sam, thank you, Sam. Camera Sam, as we like to call him, is here tonight. He's kind of snuck it in the back, but thank you for coming. And he had his camera on record. So we'll try to capture that for you.
We had to come tonight, we had leprechauns.
Well, I know, and you look great, sure. We love Sam. Sam does a really great job of taking pictures and capturing our events, so thank you. All right, so I want to get through the rest of the evening and kind of quickly and give us some time just to spend together. We always sit here and we have meetings and, you know, we do the meeting stuff, but tonight I really do want to share a little bit from my heart. All right, so a few notes from the president tonight, because I'm just so excited everyone's here. First thing I want to do is recognize our board. Y'all, we cannot do this, the women's club, when I say this, the women's club, without incredible women. And I say it all the time, I stand on the shoulders of amazing women to do what I do. I sometimes feel guilty standing up here as your president all the time because there's a group of women behind me that y'all are really making this work and you're making it happen. I'm just so fortunate to lead you, if you will. But I can't do this without these women, so I just want y'all to stand. You don't need to come up, but I want you to stand. So I'm the president. And then I have the incredible help of Denise Ogino as our first vice president. So stand. Cindy Rapine is our amazing second vice president. Diane Yost. She's obviously a treasurer. She also serves as our membership chair, so she always wears two hats. Carolyn Connor, where are you? You're our assistant treasurer. Ann Minaldo is our secretary. And we have a new position this year. Where are you? Rosemary Tennant, our assistant secretary. And then I have a great team of committee chairs that stands behind us as well. Kathy Vaught, you met her earlier, our chaplain. I have Pat Ernest, hospitality. She helps put all, look at her, she's already working in the kitchen. Let's see, where am I? Nancy Handley, you help us keep track of achievement awards so we can win our awards. Cindy Rapine is already standing, but she's our fundraising chair. Angela, the amazing Angela Bean is our past president. I say amazing because I honestly could not have done this without you, so thank you. But you're also in charge of programs and public relations. She does a lot of our website work and helps us with images and all the things. She's just a guru. So I have a confession. If y'all don't know this, keep saying, if y'all don't know this, Angela recently moved. She sold her home after many years and moved to become a full-time caregiver with her mother. So applaud to you for that. But I was not going to bother her, right? I said, I'm going to make this graphic all on my own. I can still do something with graphics. So I'm in Instagram or Facebook. I'm like trying to make these like graphics. I missed you. Let me just put it that way.
I missed you too.
Yeah. So needless to say, thank you for what you do and welcome back. Because she's back into the fold of everything. And then Denise Ogino also shares another hat. You are our parliamentarian, so thank you for that. But everybody, this is our board. And I do want to give one shout out. We have another president in the House. Lisa McGarity is joining us tonight. She's the president of the Southern Crescent Women's Club. Is that what we're looking at? The I always say Crescent, Southern Traditions Republican Women's Club. But the president, Lisa McGarity, is here with us tonight. Thank you. And Jill, your position this year is
First VP.
First Vice President. So thank you very much. So that kind of leads me, I'm glad I ended with you guys because I'm just going to speak from the heart for just a moment. But we are a federation. And I actually took a second to look up the word federation in Google. And Google says, Google, the encyclopedia of Google. A federation is a political entity formed by uniting smaller self-governing states or regions under a central government while maintaining regional autonomy. It acts as a union or alliance for common action, often balancing local autonomy with centralized power. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So I said to myself, I was like, well, that's what the encyclopedia people says. However, I agree with it because you have to, because that's what it means. However, for us, I think it means something totally different. So for our guests, we are part of a federation. We are a part of the National Federation of Republican Women, which is the broader reach for who we work with. And then we have another one called the Georgia Federation of Republican Women. And then you have our smaller clubs within the state. And we are one of those. We are the Fayette County Republican Club, the Greater Fayette Republican Women's Club. And what I love about this is we work together. As Google says what we are, but what I love is our club has this amazing resource and platform that's bigger than us. We're small, really. But what I love is we can lean into women like Darlene from South Georgia, women like Lisa and Jill who come and support us all the time. We have other clubs around us that we do share time with, and we collaborate together. The women from Clayton County, we have a member from Clayton County here with us tonight. We get together. We support our elected officials because one of the missions is electing women into office. But also I wanted to share a few things with you. I referred to the Red Coat Day recently. It was at the end of February, and these were the ladies who joined us in downtown Atlanta for 2 days. And man, it was great. We had a really great time. And I'm gonna tell you something that's beautiful about being a part of this women's club right here. How many candidates from statewide candidate races did we hear from? Do you remember?
I don't know how many, but a lot.
It was probably more than 20, probably more than 24 candidates from the state. We got to meet, take pictures with, share time with, ask questions of. If you weren't there, I have you calling me and asking me, and Denise, when can we meet so-and-so? Where will so-and-so be? And I just almost cringe. I'm like, oh, I wish you were there. Because what an opportunity it is to have them right in front of you, you know? But the other beautiful thing is about being a part of our federation, our club, and this is just a small handful of speakers and images from time together. One of my favorite images, though, is in your far left side, your far left. That was one of our probably best programs we had last year with Americanism Chair Ann Minaldo. She coordinated a flag etiquette program for children, for adults. Do y'all know how many adults have forgotten how to salute a flag and how to hold a flag and how to respect a flag? We have forgotten. But our congressman, U.S. Congressman, Brian Jack was here that night. Another reason it is amazing to be a part of such an organization is we get to meet that man right there. We can call him. Who has talked to him? Probably in the last month. We talk to him. He is here for us. You need something? He will say, I'll find out the answer for you. Get with Joseph about it. Do this, do that. He is here for us. Others don't have that opportunity without being a part of such an organization, just to reach out to him. Some other pictures here, Judge Moore and this is Judge and lawyer Tom Kirkbride. Amazing men who have given their time and energy and resources to this club because they're local. And they met us last year and came in here and were like, who are you? And I have become friends with them, but they have become our supporters. These guys are very important in the community. But also, I should point out this picture. So the very bottom, you're right, picture, because it is flipped. The gentleman in the very front row, I know you can't recognize him from where you're sitting, but this was the gentleman. Y'all. He was the gentleman at President Trump's inauguration who did the prayer and repeated Martin Luther King Jr.'s prayer. Yes, Lorenzo, thank you. I was sitting here talking through that. I was trying to remember his name, Lorenzo. Sewell. Yeah. If you don't remember him, go ahead and pull your phones out, Google him, and save it for later. He had us just encouraged and motivated to be better Americans and just better Christians. But this man right here is probably that was an honor to meet him and spend time with him. And you know how we got to do that? I'm looking at Denise because she and I were there together. We went to the Georgia Federation of Republican Women's fall meeting. We have opportunities that others don't have in these federations, in these groups, where we can come together with like-minded women and men. Do not get me wrong, we love our men who are here too, but as like-minded women, to spend time together and be encouraged by people like Lorenzo, encouraged by people like Judge Moore and Tom Kirkbride and Brian Jack. And that program really, truly, was amazing. People still talk about it today. Just a few more pictures. Y'all, we get out there and we do some work too. I'm telling you, you want to talk about getting out the vote? It is time. It is time to go wave those flags and wave those signs on the corner streets, isn't it, Suzanne? You and Linda are going to lead the charge on that, I'm sure. It's also time to get on our golf carts or in our cars and ride together, no door knocking. It's also time to honor veterans, which is something that is just one of our most favorite things to do as a club, is we honor our veterans, both living and those who have passed. Now the bottom picture I wanted to put on here, it kind of got cut off a little bit, but this is why I love being a part of the Federation right here. 67 women, I think, Denise? It was almost 70 women, let me put it that way, 70 women from all over. It was Clayton County, Spalding County, Henry County, Fayette County, and I feel like
North Spalding and Griffin Spalding.
So 2 clubs out of Spalding County. We just very kind of sporadically planned going to see the Melania movie. Y'all were there. It was one of my favorite social outings that we've ever done. And this group, this club, gave us that opportunity to get together, again, with like-minded women and cheer on a woman that is remarkable. You want to talk about a remarkable woman? Melania Trump. Why, who has not seen the movie yet? You gotta go see it. I've got church. It's on Amazon Prime now. Please watch it because, of course, she's like a bumblebee. She had to go through the storm during that movie to get that movie out there and get that movie done. But it is worth watching. She's inspiring. But she's inspiring. But I love that we did that. We got together, we went to lunch at IHOP, and we went to the movie theater. Karen, that's right, you came in with your friends.
Watching her.
It was just amazing. So that's it. We get to share each other. We get together. So I'm also talking not just to our guests. I want you to know how much we have a great time together and how meaningful it is to be here. But I'm talking to my members too. This is a true year to come together as members, as new members, because I truly feel like the midterms could truly determine our future. I know Darlene said it, you can't believe everything you're seeing on the internet, on the websites, and the news, but there are some things that are real. And if we, the Republican Party, do not come together in unity, and as women, right? If we don't come together, I am concerned about 275 years. I'm concerned it may not make it. That's why we come together with the National Federation of Republican Women, the Georgia Federation of Republican Women, and this women's club right here. It's why we come together and do what we do. Yes, ma'am.
There is a woman running for governor because she was at the Republican meeting this week. I can't remember when we met. So, I can't remember her name.
Takasha
for lieutenant governor.
I didn't.
Takasha Swan.
Takasha
Swan.
Swan, Republican ticket. I didn't know she had qualified, so that's impressive. We should probably try to get in touch with her and have her come speak as a
She's been
woman.
serving on the Veterans Board in the state too for the last 6 or 7 years.
Okay, thank you. Get with one of us, or tell Diane, let's get her name. What is her name, Nancy?
It's Takasha Swan.
Okay, well, I would like to meet her. One last thing, just to wrap it up.
She spoke at one of our breakfasts.
Okay. Two things I want to share with you. I have a favorite quote. That's not Eisenhower. I know. I need to go read up on Mr. Eisenhower for sure. But one of my favorite quotes, I've shared it in this room many times, and you're going to hear it from me many more. It is from the great Iron Lady herself, Margaret Thatcher. Oh, Maggie, from Our Lady from across the pond. If you want something said, ask a man. But if you want something done, ask a woman. And that is what I believe we stand for. And it's true. Every candidate we spoke to or heard from at the Red Coat Day, every single one of them said to us, you women get stuff done. And they know it. They know to come to these women's clubs and talk to us because we're going to get out there and work the door knocking and the waving. But the other thing is, ladies, I'm happy if you wave the flags. I'm happy if you door knock. I'm happy if you serve on our board and in our committees. I'm also happy when you are just comfortable finding a space in these four walls to be with other women that you love, because you fall in love with each other. Trust me, you build friendships you cannot imagine. But I'm happy if you're just here enjoying our speakers, enjoying the time and camaraderie together. That makes me happy too. But there is a lot of work to do, and I'm ready. If you're ready, I'm ready to get out there and do it. So that's my speech from the heart about tonight. I welcome everyone. And again, even our members, I ask you to re-engage and engage and get out there and let's get busy and get these Republicans elected this year. So now I'm going to ask my membership chair to flip hats and come up here, and we're just going to talk a little bit about joining the club. And she's got me distracted. Is it your fault?
I bought 2 tickets, she gave me the same numbers. Who was gonna win that? Not me.
Suzanne. Okay, Diane. Let's talk to him about membership. So membership, like I said, it includes, we're a federation of a group of women. I think 100,000 members total across the nation. Might go up to 140,000 this year, I think I remember right. Across the nation. So, but Madam Membership Chair and Treasurer, there you go. Talk to them. Yeah. Tell them what to do.
All right, she will.
I know.
Here we go. Okay, so for those of you that are our very special guests who signed up from our mailing that we did or came as with a friend of ours that's already a member, you each have a membership packet, and in that packet has an application. If you're interested in joining, and we sure hope that you are, if you'll fill that out, I can take check, cash, or credit card. That's right, it all stays the same. And fill out your application and bring it over to me before you leave. We'll get you set up. We do have a special drawing just for you, because everybody else has already got all their stuff. We have 3 prizes. The first one, if you join, you get a free name badge. That's one prize. The second one is you get a free t-shirt, and it's in your size, they're special ordered just for you. And the third is the membership fee. That's a $50 bargain. So we encourage you to join. This is a great group. We do a lot of things that are fun. We do a lot of things that are work, but you're not going to find a better group of women to play with. So anyway, that's it. All right. If you have any questions, I'm over in the corner here waving my hands.
We're getting ready to do more giveaways. All right, so let's do a few more really quick, and then we're going to do a little bit more business, and I'm going to let y'all have some fun together. I just want y'all to mingle and mix and enjoy each other. So,
Everybody's tickets are in.
righty then, let's do a few more names, though. Grab a few more of our guest names who are here. Sure. My first vice president wants to speak, so come on.
I just want to let you know that it's wonderful that you're here and you're dressed in green, most of you, except for Cindy, who I gave a thing to. But make some pictures before you go home. We only decorate once a year for St. Patrick's Day. And in that, I have a challenge for you ladies. My challenge is make a picture with one of the areas here, make it with some friends, but the challenge is put it on Facebook and say where you were tonight. That helps us advertise and get the word out. We've got a big job in Fayette County with some of our elections that are coming up, and we need your help. We need your help because we've got to get out the vote. As soon as this primary is over, we've got to hit the ground running. Our county is so almost 50-50 between blue and red.
It's darker purple.
It is getting more purple every day. And if we don't do it, we are going to turn. We can't just sit on our bottoms anymore. So I challenge you, have some pictures made with some friends while we all dressed in green, and then put something on there about tonight. Okay? Thank y'all.
Or wait, 51, we're purple. Y'all, it's a dark purple.
We're close. It's close.
And when I moved here, we were like 80.
Yeah. Though the state is starting to shift as well, as we know, because our electorate is where
I remember when Gwinnett County was red.
redder than Cindy Rapine's top. Yeah. So let's stay on. These are the things we do share and talk about and learn. And that's another thing I didn't even mention it. I have learned more. By the way, really quick side note, why I joined. I joined just to have a space. I needed a space, and my husband was like, I love politics, Jennifer, and I love being a Republican, but I need you to go somewhere else. I'm paraphrasing, but that is really about what he said. He was like, you've got to find an outlet. Those were his words. You have got to find an outlet. Because in 2020, when I joined this club and the GOP, I needed to talk about it, by golly, because my president was under attack in 2020, as was the world, if you remember. But man, he just looked at me and was like, you got to do something. So I got a mailer in the mail. And if some of y'all remember that big mailer that the Fayette County Republican Party did. And it told me to contact Angela Bean at this address and join the women's club. And I was like, oh, I have 2 outlets. And I joined. And I will tell you that it was my outlet. These 4 walls became a safe space for me, as I say. And it became a joy. But the biggest thing, I stand up here and tell everyone all the time when I share my story about being a member of the women's club, I'm a better voter. I'm a much better voter because of things that we were just talking about. This is no secret to a lot of women I've shared this with, but I never voted in a primary.
Oh.
I know.
Say it isn't true.
I didn't.
You gave up half your right to vote?
Yes.
Because why? You know why? I didn't understand the importance of that vote. I didn't get it. Why? I wasn't in a room with women like you who have taught me to get my butt to the primary. I'm telling y'all, I'm not the only one who has that story. I'm just willing to share it and get all that much paper out. It's true though. I'm not the only woman in this country, in this state, or in this city who doesn't vote in the primary. Y'all see the numbers?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, we know.
It's horrible in the primary.
20% voter turnout?
And Darlene, don't even bring up special elections. I didn't even know they existed before I became a member of the club. I know, I heard that. I don't know who said it. Oh my is right. Y'all, but that is one of the reasons I love being a member of these clubs. A few more announcements. Everyone take your agenda that I created for you. Turn it over. Dun, 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 dun. Here is our entire year. Your board got together recently and we finished planning the year. We're going to be busy. All right, but it's going to be fun. And we're going to have fun. It's going to be so much fun. April 21st. I'm just going to run through these kind of quick for us. But these next 2, well, really 3 are probably really important. So let me definitely go over these really quick. Mark your calendar though. April 21st. This is our annual legislative update with Senator Marty Harbin and our House Representatives Josh Bonner and Karen Mathiak. They're going to come back from session and they're going to answer our questions like, how in the world did that property tax not get passed? Do not answer that question right here. I know.
You may not want to ask us that.
But these are the things we talk about, isn't it? How did you guys, ladies, I know. we'll finish that conversation in April. Everybody come back to hear the answer, because you will get it from the horse's mouths of three people. All right, make a note. Why would y'all think we would move our Tuesday night meeting to Monday, May 18th?
Election day.
And where are we all gonna be on election day?
Poll watching.
I hope you do early. I'm an early voter person, but we're poll watching, voting, and getting out there. Okay. So we're going to meet Monday the 18th. Please mark your calendars, because we want to be fair to everyone. If you want to be here, we want you here, so that you can go and be inspired on Tuesday. So mark your calendars for that. Then in June, we're also changing it up for us. We are going to plan an America 250th celebration party picnic. I do not have a place guaranteed yet, but I'm just going to give you a hint of what we're trying to do. We're trying to reserve the Lake Horton Pavilion. Okay, we can't do it yet, so that's why we can't guarantee it. We can't do it till the beginning of May. But that's where we're trying to go. Pavilion, playground. We're going to do yard games. We're going to have music. We're going to have guest speakers. So Brian Jack has already promised me he will get me speakers that day. How about that, right? And I'm excited. And that is right before the special elections for the runoffs. So bring your families, bring your friends. This truly is just going to be a fun night for us, okay? So Friday evening from 4 to 7, come and go as you please. And then in July 4th, I'll kind of stop here. Yes, ma'am.
Can I say something about the 4th of July?
Sure. Oh, my elected officials want to speak. Madam
Okay, so
Brown.
Peachtree City usually has our big parade on the 4th of July and fireworks that night. And we decided this year to reach a little deeper into the citizens' tax pockets and put an extra $100,000 into the 4th of July celebration. So we're actually gonna have a drone show while you're sitting there waiting for it to get dark enough for the fireworks. So there's gonna be a drone show and then the fireworks. So yeah, so definitely put it on your calendar if you don't know what you're doing on the 4th of July. That's what you wanna do. And come to the parade, where we are throwing candy again.
Right. We will more, I don't know for a fact, I've not spoken with the Fayette County Republican Party yet, but I'm sure we will combine efforts for the parade. So just plan to do that morning.
And Tyrone also voted to have 4th of July party.
Hold on, ladies, hold on, this is important, apparently, this has never happened.
Yes, this has never happened. So, much smaller budget. But it's gonna kick off at 3 p.m. in Shamrock Park with a small parade with kids on their bikes and golf carts and wagons.
Aww,
and circling.
old-fashioned parade.
Like yard games and things. And then we're gonna have bands. We're gonna have Adam Grant, who performed at President Trump's Get Out the Vote that we had down at the Falcon Field.
Awesome.
And then we have a big band after him. Hopefree, I think is the name of it. And then we have our fireworks as soon as it gets dark at 9 p.m.
Alright.
So we're gonna be going from 3 to 9. So
There you
And you
go.
can-
Way to go, Jonathan,
There you go, both right.
Go.
Full day of school.
Yeah.
that's what happens when
Dark
you
out
open
the
your
board.
mouth and they say, hey, good idea.
Don't we all know that? You say, oh, how can I help? Now I have a great idea, then what happens?
And you're doing it.
Excitedly though, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right, so we won't meet in July, but just a really quick rundown. You've got all of this in here. We have a really fun year planned for you. It's all here for you. Yeah, everything is going to be just. It's going to be fun, but we need your help. So that's my message here for what we have left is we are going to need help. But my favorite thing, I think, y'all, we got to get people elected. Okay, I get that. But I'm so excited that we are going to go to the governor's mansion in Milton. I am so, Denise is planning it. I don't know anything. I'm letting her run without him too. I just cannot wait to go to the governor's mansion in Milledgeville. Did y'all know we had a governor's mansion in Milledgeville? Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. Well, I mean, some people don't. Some people don't vote in the primary. Some people don't know we have a mansion. All right, let's finish this up. I want y'all to hang out and have a good, spend some time together. All right.
We need a pause for Denise.
Hold on, I need to say
Hold
something.
on. Madam Treasurer needs to speak.
This is membership lady.
Oh, membership.
I'm gonna put that hat on. I was remiss, and so forgive me, this is not Jennifer's fault, but we have two guests from Gwinnett County.
Oh, we do?
We sure do.
I had no idea.
Tanya Wilson is
Wait a
back
minute,
there.
I thought you were Clayton County.
I
Well, I
didn't.
shouted you out, but I thought you were Clayton.
And Ariana.
Oh.
Thank you for
I didn't know she would move, so there you go. You're still a part of us though, aren't you? That's the beautiful thing about being a part. You're still family with me. I mean, you're my sister in arms for America, aren't you?
Yes.
You can do that from Gwinnett County. Lord, you went from one county of Clayton to Gwinnett.
Wow.
Girlfriend.
She's definitely needed there.
You ask for challenges, don't you? God bless you. Okay, well, get out the vote up there, my friend, because you've got a really good women's club up there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you do.